Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. My name is Danny, and I will be giving you today's webinar. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to upload, modify, and send out your contracts from anywhere in the system. Okay. In case you guys have any questions, you can always raise your hand or write through the chat box. It should be on the control panel on your left side, on your right side, sorry, and you will be able to ask any questions throughout the webinar. In case you have any further issues or encounter any doubts, you can always write through our live chat, and any agent available will be able to help you out. Okay. Do you guys hear me fine and see my screen perfectly? Great. Now I'm going to proceed to my REIFax account. Remember, you can do this with all three products, the Platinum, Professional, and Professional Dialer. Okay? To upload contracts, you have to go directly into Settings, Documents. When you're in Documents, well, you might not see this, all these contracts, of course, but on your right side, you will be able to add documents. Remember that we are not investors or realtors. We don't have any contracts available to give you, but we can tell you where you can purchase them. I understand that there is a website called AltaStar. There we go. Altastar.com, where you purchase your contracts. And you can even do your online signatures on there. Okay? So I already added my contract, as you see, into my settings. What I'm going to do is double click. It's going to take me into my contract details. Now here I can change the name. Let's say I'm just going to put webinar, today is 17, correct? In my options, let me see. Okay, in my options, I have to put in my option 1 buyer. Why is this important? Because this way, I don't have to put it in each time manually that I'm sending a contract. That's gonna get really bothering. So might as well put it here, and it will automatically generate it for you each time you're creating or sending out an offer. Okay, so I'm gonna put over here Danny Dominguez. I'm just putting a random address. You can also put in a second option as well, in case you work with an assistant, an associate, or another company. You can also put that, and you can put active or inactive. You see how it automatically changes. Okay. Now, inspection days. Over here, you put in whatever you do on settings, it's going to maintain it default. So if you leave it 0 and you actually send all your offers out with inspection days, let's say 15, then you're going to have to put it in manually for each contract that you send out. Okay, so if you put it in here, it's going to already pass information to each time that you're going to send out a contract. So for example, let's say I'm just going to put 15 in here. And over here, I have my additional documents tab. Each document that you add into a contract is going to maintain for only the contract that you open. So let's say I upload over here a proof of funds, an LBPD, and an earnest money deposit. Now, those 3 additional documents are going to only be uploaded for this contract, webinar 17. Okay, so in case I want it for all my contracts, I have to do it I have to upload them individually for each contract. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we can do that. Let's give me a second. Download. Okay, over here it's going to give you the copyright warning, same as when you upload the contract. Just click accept. Say I'm going to add a new one. I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to put the EMD. Okay, I'm going to accept again. Okay, now what is this box for and what are these for? Okay, so every time you generate a contract, it automatically selects, if you have it here, the additional documents that are going to be sent out with that. If you don't want them to automatically be selected, you don't check them. Okay, I'll show you then how it's going to look when, or with this configuration, everything that we're doing, I'll show you how we can, how it actually looks when we're going to send out a contract. Okay, and then we have the column EMD, POF, and additional, which is an addendum. This one is the LBPD, so I'm going to just select A for additional, and this is the EMD. I'm going to select this. Why is it important that you select these? Because once you send them out, if you have these checks marked, it's going to be marked when you send them in your follow-up. Okay? I'll show you right now before we even forget how it's supposed to be. So over here, for example, for the 6032 Dawson Street, I sent them a contract and I also sent them an additional document, which generally I have them as the LBPD. Okay, so if you have them, like I said, checked off in this in these boxes, you're going to have them checked off in your follow-up. That's important to have it because if not, you will have to, I mean, it's going to be hard to follow up with each property to see, or to actually open the follow history and see what you have actually sent to each one. Okay? Then we have the delete button, obviously, and then we have the edit. You can edit your additional documents. As you see, I uploaded it blank, as well as my contracts and the rest of the additional documents. They should be blank because this way we only have to upload the variables. We have to actually just fill it in with the variables, and REIFax does the rest of the work for you, importing the data into your additional document or contract. Okay, for example, this one is a seller. I'm going to put the seller name. Oh, okay. I have to click first on the line that I want to add it. I'm going to click on the first drop down and search for the variable seller name. I'm going to add it. And then I'm going to click at the bottom where it says buyer, and I'm going to add my buyer information as well. You can see here, concerning the property described as, I guess there goes either the property address or the legal description. Oh, for the lines, I think it's the legal description. But actually, since some of the descriptions or legal descriptions of each property are they may be long, I'm just going to put in, I don't know if this is legal or not, if this goes through your parameters as a realtor or investor. I'm going to click in add text so that I can manually type in what I want it to show there. Okay, so I'm just going to put as shown on public records. And I'm going to just drag this variable into this line. Okay, then I have over here buyer's initials. Once you have already uploaded your contracts, additional documents, make sure you also add your signature. You can either, I'm going to go through those, okay? I'm go over here. What we're going to do is I'm going to click on the second drop down and I'm going to select buyer's initials, which is the initials that I already uploaded. I'm just going to put them here. If once you scroll down, you can see the rest of the information, but let's say that I have an easier way than just filling this in manually. I'm going to my templates manager, okay, over here. I'm going to click in this drop down and I'm going to scroll down to see, this is the LBPD, right? So I'm going to scroll down to see if REIFax offers me a template for an LBPD. This would be wonderful because in this case, we don't have to actually manually put in all the variables. And in my case, since I don't know how to actually fill it in, I have the REIFax template and it's going to fill it out for me. This is wonderful. Now, since some of them are, or some additional documents may be different, maybe a little bigger, a little smaller, these might move into different, these might be a little, how do you say? The variables may be moved, but all we have to do is just drag them into place. I think it's much easier than just putting in manually for each, right? I'm going to scroll to the top and just going to move all of them. Let's ignore the doubles. Okay, I'm just going to, okay. Let's say that I just want to eliminate this address like I told you, and I just want to add the description that I said. Okay, I'm just going to put it here. And this way I don't have to either delete, modify my template at all. And if we're done with our LBPD, all we have to do is just close. And to double make sure that we don't lose any of our configuration, we're just going to click save. Okay. Same thing with the rest of our additional documents. Okay. All you have to do is, for example, this one, it would be just, I would just suggest to put today's date so that we put it, so we, let's say, legalize it. I'm just going to put in today's date right on top. There we go. And then I'm just going to close. And I'm going to save again, and I'm just going to open. Now, we just saved the additional documents. Now I'm going to proceed to modify our contract. Oh wait, not there. Edit contract. Okay. As you see, I uploaded my contract like I told you before, blank. Why? Because we should always put in the variable so that REIFax, in case you're sending out bulks, and even if you're not, you know that it's very bothering, let's say that to fill in the contract each time with the information of each property, okay, manually. That must be very bothering. So let's just put in the variables, and REIFax does the rest of the work for you, putting in or inputting all the information or all the data in for each property. When you're sending bulk contracts, it's important to have this because this way each of the contracts are specific for each property, and they import all the information, okay? So over here on the right, on the left, we have all the variables. We have the dot, in case you want to fill in any checkbox. You have also the check, and X in case you want to use it as well. You have the add text. You have the calculator in case you want to create a formula. Okay. You also have the box of your signatures. Remember that you have to have them filled in. And then we have our preview and our templates manager. Okay, our preview, let's say it's going to actually tell you how it's going to generate in your in a PDF form. Okay, and then we have our templates manager. I'll tell you after how you can go the easy way. I'm going to show you the same way how we did the first time, the additional document. I'm going to show you the hard way, let's say like that, to configure your contract. So we can do it manually. Like I said, we can put in the seller. I'm going to select first the line. I'm going to scroll down into the seller variable. And then I'm going to click at the bottom. I'm going to add the buyer name. Okay. The street, I'm going to put property address. Okay. Located in county, property, county. So all the variables that we have here are the data that we have available. Okay. County property ID, we actually don't have it. You would have to put in a text, okay, so that you actually import it. But either way, let's double check to see if we have it. P. Okay, property, zip code, type, state, county, city, and address. Okay, like I said, we do not have it, but if you have other ways to retrieve this information, you can just put it in as text. Not just leave it blank, it won't generate. Also, if, for example, you generate a contract where, let's say, for instance, you have the variable, I'm going to do the example here with escrow. I'm going to put in escrow agent. Escrow address. Okay. I want to do this really quick so that I can show you, or I can do an example exactly for this. Okay. In case you do not want to use one of for example, you want to generate a contract without showing the escrow information or certain variables that you already have input in your REIFax. If you don't have the data put in before you send out the contract, it's not going to generate even if you have the variables. Now, another tip, if REIFax does not have the data and you have the variables in your contract, it's not going to generate, of course, the information because it won't have from where to retrieve it from. Okay? Over here is the listing price. I'm going to guess. Let me know if you guys have any questions so far. The initial deposit at the bottom. Good. And then over here would be, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm going to put here balance to close. I don't know what other variable goes anywhere else. Okay, so this is the hard way because this way we have to actually fill in all 12 pages of each of the contract. This would be the hard way. I see there's a question. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue. And in case you have further question, you let me know, okay? So this is, like I said, the hard way because you have to fill it in for each of the 12 pages. Now, let's do it the easy way now. I'm going to click on the templates manager and I'm going to say, I'm going to look through all of these names and I'm going to see, okay, so over here we have a homeowner, an investor, a seller, and the rest are, I guess, additional documents. So I'm going to use one of these templates. I'm going to click apply and voila. So REIFax created a set of templates so that you don't have to go page by page. Now the thing is, it's not perfect because, like I said, with the additional documents, some contracts may be differently configured. So all you have to do, since we made this based on a certain contract, all you would have to do is maybe just drag the variables into each box. But hey, the good thing is that the variable is already there and you don't have to actually go to the drop down and search for each one. Okay? And it will also add the signature for you for each of the pages. Okay? If you do not want signatures there, let's say, for example, you can always delete them. Okay? If you don't want a checkbox, you can always delete it. It's not necessary to have something, or it's not obligatory to have something you don't actually want in your contract, so you can always modify it. Having the template does not mean that you are unable to edit. You are obviously able to do it the way you want it. Okay? I'm going to take you to the last part and you will see. Okay, so as you can see, this is a different contract from the one this one was made. All I have to do is, like I was telling you, just have to drag down the actual variables to each place. Okay, and then that's it. I am finished with my contract. Let's take a look at it. There you go. Okay, and this is how it actually looks when you send it out, of course, with all the information. This is important to take a look at it because this way you know that all the variables are in its place. Like, for example, this one is not correct. I have to move it because if not, it's going to generate incorrectly. Do we have any questions so far? Okay, I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this and I'm going to click save. I saved my contract. Now, I'm going into the next configurations, let's say, so that you have your contract, or that you send your contract all set up and you have everything in place. all you have to do is your signatures. So with REIFax, you're able to have two sets of signatures because you may have sometimes maybe like I said, an associate, a partner, or maybe your wife, your husband that uses the account, and you might want to have another set of signatures. You can either draw it, which I'm not very good at it, or you can upload it if you have, I would suggest you to sign a white piece of paper, and you can either scan it with an actual scanner or download an application, really simple, on your Android or iPhone, and it will scan it for you. Send it to your email, download it into your computer, and you can upload it into your REIFax. It's very, very simple. If you have any further question regarding that, I can walk you through the steps. They're not regarding REIFax, but I can give you those tips. Okay? Once you have uploaded, I don't think I have any signatures. Let me see if I have any signatures here. No, I do not have. I don't have any signatures so that I can show you, but it's very simple procedure. We select the image. It's going to upload here. You upload your initials. Remember to scan them separately. Do not put them together. Okay? And then we upload them individually. Once you have your signatures there, you can upload them into your contract as well. Escrow. Okay. You're able to upload you're able to upload as many EMDs, letters, as you want. But the escrow information, you can only have two different escrows. So make sure you have over here the ones that you're going to use. For example, I did wrong because I uploaded a Zendagua law firm, and over here I have, silly me, creative title. So that's not correct. But over here, I have a free campus of adding my Zendagua information. Okay, so we can put which we want as default, which won't matter because I can always modify that before sending out the contract. Now, all you have to do is fill in the information and just click Save Escrow at your top right. Do we have any questions up to now? Please do let me know if you guys have any questions so far. Okay. I'm going to show you now from where you can send your contracts, and with the variables that we put in our additional documents and in our contract, I'm going to show you how it actually does generate. Okay, I'm going to make a random search. Let's see. I'm going to put in 33023. Single family for sale. I'm going to search. And I'm going to just choose this first property. Remember, I'm just making a random selection so that I can show you how it generates. Okay? I'm going to click on Send Docs. From here, you are able to send it with any of our products, Platinum Professional or Professional Dialer. Okay? Over here, we have our document selection. If you have several documents like me added into your settings, remember to always choose the correct one. So remember, we added the webinar 17, and then you see how these are automatically selected because I selected it here. These checks are selected and they're going to be selected here automatically. You see that the green boxes are also checked. If I do send them, they're going to be checked. If I don't send them, they're not going to be checked in our follow-up. Okay? Remember that our follow-up is available only for professional and professional data. Okay. I'm going to select both of them so that you see how it generates in our follow-up. Then I am going to scroll down. I'm going to put in the offer price. The initial deposit is going to maintain. You see that inspection days is what we added in our settings, so I don't have to modify that either. Now, you see that these this data or these names were all variables that we added in our contract. I'm actually going to open this again, and I'm sorry for switching pages, but I want to show you. I want to generate the document with the variables so that you can actually see what we're generating and where we get the data from. Okay? So you see that we have initial deposit. Over here we have initial deposit. So the information that you input here is what it's going to be generated in your contract. The closing date is going to be at the bottom. You see here my closing date variable, which I never fixed, but it's there. Whatever you put there is going to be generated in your contract, and as well as the rest of this information. So as long as you have it here, it's going to generate here. If, for example, you have the variable of seller's broker in your contract, and you don't have this information here, it's not going to generate, and there's nothing going to show up. Nothing's going to show up in your contract, okay? Even if you do have the variable in. All I have to, okay, so you see here that the buyer information, what I selected, was automatically put here. That's because I put it in my settings in my contract. If I wouldn't have put it there, I would have to type this in manually each time I send a contract. That would take time off of us, valuable time. So that's why we do it in our settings. So agent's info. Okay, over here, I'm going to put in, since I don't want to send in a false offer, I'm going to put in my Gmail account. And then if you scroll to the bottom, you see the escrow. Okay? The escrow are the different ones, sorry, the different ones that we put here. So since we already put in the variables in our contract, we have escrow agent, address, phone, email, and fax. And that's all the information that we selected here. That is what we're going to be selecting here. Okay? If I were to have two escrows, I would choose which information I have here. Which escrow I'm going to be inputting in my contract. Now, remember that for that, you have to have both of those letters in your additional documents as well. That would be very intelligent. But like me, I made the honest mistake of having the creative title services escrow and uploading the Zendagua. Okay, and let's say that I just don't want to generate any because that's not correct. I'm going to verify the font. I can always modify it. Okay. We have all of these different fonts, sizes, and color. You have black, white, or blue. And then you select if you want to send your contract with, if you want to send the email with or without contract. If I put without contract, I would only be sending the additional documents. Okay? So remember that if you have all the information and all the variables in, you won't have any problem. If you want to just send it with the contract, you just click here. The investor's offer is for those who are students of the mentoring program of the Dade Real Estate Association. We then have the button to edit our contract. We can edit our contract. Let's say that we missed or let's say, for example, that I saw that the closing date was incorrect. The closing date was incorrect, so I'm going to go back and just edit my contract from here. Now, clicking edit before sending, you're still editing the original contract, okay? It's not editing only for this time. It's editing the base template, like it says there. I'm going to click edit, and I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and I'm going to scroll this. I'm going to exit, save again, and there we go. Now, I can preview my contract before sending out. I can download it, and then at last, we're going to email it. Let's show you. Remember that you have to make sure that you have the pop-up blocker enabled, okay? Or disabled, sorry. So you see how everything generated smoothly, okay? You see that I put none of the escrow information, so it didn't generate, even if I do have the variable in there. And then the rest. Looks great. Now I can download it. You will see, depending on the browser you have, you will see it here at the bottom. Or you can, once you click preview, I think it's this one. Once you click preview, like I said, depending on the browser you're using, once you move the mouse, you can either open with, and it will tell you, or you can save on your drive of your Google Drive, or you open original and you can download it from there in case you're looking to save it on your computer. You see over here, download, and then you have the print button. Okay, so there are several ways of saving it out of REIFax. So I already showed you the 3 options for what the investors offer, and then I'm just going to click send by email. As you see, it automatically selects the email that I have over here. Okay, if I want to send it to another one, you have to make sure that you have the contact imported in your contacts tab. Okay, so let's say that I want to send it to Danny as well. I can do that, but you have to have it in your contacts. And then send copy to me or without copy. Either way, I'm going to have it in my sent folder, so I'm not going to send myself a copy. And then I'm just going to click send docs. And it will notify us over here. You can always go back and do any search you want because it's not going to stop the procedure. 1 doc successfully sent. So we have successfully uploaded, modified, and contracts and additional documents, and I showed you how they actually generate from our overview, which would be the same view from the follow-up, just a different procedure. For further information on how to send it from the follow-up, you can access our control panel or your control panel and click the help. It will take you to the different short videos specialized for each part of the system. So these are very short. I think they're no longer than 8 minutes, the longest one. Apart from that, we also have the webinars, recorded previous webinars, okay, on our main page. So you go to reifax.com, resources, and you can access it in webinars. And we here have all the previous webinars, okay? If you want a specialized coaching and just don't want to watch videos, you can always ask us through here or request a one-on-one coaching. We're always in disposal to help you and glad to. Apart from that, you can go back into your control panel, and if you have an issue or a general question, you can go into tickets, create new. Okay, so you put in the description. If you have a suggestion, a general question, if you want to request a coaching, REIFax training, or if you are having a technical issue, you just fill in the different details. Okay? Do you have any further question? Okay, Calvin, I will be contacting you shortly after the webinar is over. Well, guys, if you don't have any further question in regards to what we just saw today, thank you so much for assisting. We will be in contact, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you, or we will meet here in the same time, same place, next Friday at 10. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.